Hello friends, so today we are working on lesson 6, so we're going to be building non-unit fractions that are less than a whole using unit fractions to make something. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with how we would normally do class, where we're going to start with our sprint and we're going to do a little warm-up before we jump into the lesson. So at this part of the lesson you can go ahead and pause me, and then I'm going to pause me for 1 minute just like we would do in class, and so you can answer it, and then after that minute is up you can unpause me so that we can go over the answers before we go over to side B. Okay, so go ahead and pause me for 1 minute. Okay, so you should have paused me by now, and so let's go ahead and go through the answers. I'm just going to roll through them quickly, and just like you normally do, check the ones that you got correct and then write the number that you got correct by yourself at the top here. Okay, so number 1, 7, 7, 14, 14, 21, 21, 28, 28, 35, 35, 42, 42, 49, 56, 56, 63, 63, 70, 70, 21, 7, 14, starting on the next column, 70, 70, 28, 56, 21, 49, 42, 75, 42, 7, 63, 28, 21, 14, 49, 56, 77, 77, 84, 84, 91. Okay, so go ahead and write the number total that you got correct by yourself here at the top, and let's get ready for side B. All right, so just like you did on side A, go ahead and pause me, and then once you're done with your minute on side B, then you can unpause the video so that we can check it together. Okay, so go ahead and pause. Okay, so you should have finished it by now and done side B, so let's go ahead and check through them together. Ready? So we have number 1, 7, number 2, 7, 14, 14, 21, 21, 28, 28, 35, 35, 42, 42, 49, 56, 56, 63, 63, 70, 77, 70, 14, 63, 21, 56, 28, 49, 35, 42, 35, 70, 7, 56, 28, 63, 14, 49, 21, 56, 77, 77, 84, 84, 91. Okay, so go ahead and write the total number you got correct on this side, and then write the number that you improved. Remember, your improvement number is how much faster did you get on side B than side A. So if you got 20 on side A and then 25 on side B, your improvement number would be 25 minus 20, which would be 5. Okay, let's go ahead and get into our warm-up. So you're going to say the unit fraction that you see shown here. So on this picture, the unit fraction is 1/2. This unit fraction shows us 1/4. This unit fraction shows us 1/8. This unit fraction shows us 1/6, so 1/6. This unit fraction shows us, good, 1/10, which is also called 1/10. Okay, this one shows us 1/5, or 1/5. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to find the whole. So what we're going to do is we're going to add these two smaller fractions to make one whole fraction. So 3/5 plus 2/5 would equal 5/5, because 3 plus 2 is 5, and we know our denominator will stay the same. 7/10 plus 3/10 equals 10/10, correct. 5/8 plus 3/8 equals 8/8, correct. Now notice though on all of those answers that they all equaled, that whether it was 5/5 or 8/8, both of those would be equal to 1 whole. All right, so let's look at our application question for today. Chloe's dad has his garden into 4 equal-sized sections to plant tomatoes, squash, peppers, and cucumbers. What fraction of the garden is available for growing tomatoes? So first of all, we know that great mathematicians can always draw what they're thinking. So let me draw my 4 vegetables. Okay. Now let's go back to the question. It says, what fraction of the garden is available for growing tomatoes? So I'm going to go ahead and focus on my tomatoes, which represents for us that there is that 1 out of 4 parts of his garden is 4 tomatoes. So in other words, 1 out of 4 would be called 1/4. Good. Okay, now here we're going to talk about, we're going to start part of our lesson, and the first kind of question I want you to think about is, what does the 2 in fraction form mean? So we have this fraction that says 1/2. So what does the 2 mean, and what does the 1 mean? Okay, so let's think. Okay, so in our fraction 1/2, the denominator, which is, remember, the number on the bottom, is also the number that shows us the total number of parts. So in this fraction, it means that we're dealing with 2, and then our number on top, the 1, which is called the numerator, is the parts that we're talking about. So to show that as a picture, we would have drawn a circle, or anything you want really, as long as both sides were equal, where we have 1 out of 2 parts shaded. Now let's try it with another one. So first of all, what unit is my circle partitioned into? So I see there's 3 equal parts, which means that each of those parts is going to be called a third. They're partitioned into thirds. Now, as a unit fraction, we would call this 1/3. Right? So now I'm going to shade in that unit fraction. So let me go ahead and do that. All right. So now that I have that shaded, that's my visual representation of 1/3. Now I'm going to make a copy of my shaded unit fraction. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy it over there like this. Okay, so now I don't have 1/3 shaded. Let's count how many thirds are shaded. 1/3, 2/3. So we would say that 2/3 are shaded. Okay, so how we'd write that in unit form is just 2/3. In fraction form, we write that 2/3 to show us 2 out of 3 parts are shaded. Okay, so let's try it again with one more. So what unit is this rectangle partitioned into? It's partitioned into eighths. So as a unit fraction, we would call that 1/8, 1 out of 8. Because remember, the unit fraction represents what is one piece of this whole. Remember, unit fractions are always 1 over something, 1/2, 1/3, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 100, okay? But it's always going to be with 1. Okay, now I'm going to shade one of those unit fractions to show us 1/8 is shaded. And now the directions tell us that it wants us to make 4 copies of the shaded unit. So I'm going to shade in 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now if I have 4 of the 8 pieces shaded, let's count them by the unit to see what we have. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8. So we would say that 4/8 are shaded, or 4 out of 8 pieces. Okay, last one. What unit is this one partitioned into? Good, it's partitioned into fourths. Now, what is the unit fraction called for just one of those pieces? Good, it'll be called 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to shade one unit fraction. Boop. Okay, and now I'm going to make 2 copies of that one. So I already have 1 copy done, so I'm going to make a second copy. Okay, so now I'm going to still be counting by fourths to find out what is the name of the fraction that is shaded. So 1/4, 2/4. Okay, and the way that we write that as a fraction is 2 out of 4, 2/4. All right, so let's look at our problem set now. So it says complete the number sentence, estimate to partition each strip equally, and write the unit fraction inside each unit and shade the answer. Okay, so in the sample one that was given to us, it has 2 out of 3 shaded. So how they did that is they first saw that the unit number is thirds. So when they took their whole, they broke the whole into 3 equal pieces. And then the 2 tells us how many of those thirds were shaded. 1/3, 2/3. Okay, let's do it again together for 1A. So on here, it tells us that our unit is fourths, which means I need to break this into 4 equal pieces. Okay, so I have my whole broken into 4 equal pieces, which means that each of those pieces is going to be 1/4. Okay, now to show 3/4, we're going to count by fourths until we hit 3/4. So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. And of course, we write that as a fraction 3/4 because 3 out of 4 pieces are shaded. All right, we're going to skip ahead and go over to the back side, and we're going to answer one more question together. So it says, find the total number of equal parts. Okay, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 equal parts. Okay. Next part says the total number of shaded equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now let's go to the unit fraction. Remember, the unit fraction we said means it's 1 over something. So 1 out of this whole piece would be 1 out of 9. So the unit fraction would be 1/9. And then the fraction shaded, let's count by ninths to count the fractions that are shaded. 1/9, 2/9, 3/9, 4/9, 5/9. 5/9 are shaded, or 5 out of 9 of the pieces. All right, friends, well, guess what? That is it for today. Easy peasy, I hope. And I will see you next time. Catch you later. Bye.